Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello, everyone. Are you ready to live an inspired and empowered life? Hi, today we are going to be talking about how sales excellence can help you create an inspired and empowered life. Join me, Nanci Deutsch, when I interview Sandy Hart, award-winning real estate agent, about how sales excellence can help you create an inspired and empowered life. Sales and excellence are both universal. Every human, from our first conscious breath, are selling. Snooze or feet on the floor. What will it cost me? If I make the wrong choice versus what will I gain from selling myself the better choice? Excellence is a personal standard of showing up in our lives and very strongly aligned with inspiration and empowerment. Today, we will show how everything we do, every choice we make, can help us create an inspired and empowered life. Together, let's create a life you love. I'm your host, Nanci Deutsch, counselor, coach, intuitive breakthrough, bringing you the Inspired and Empowered Living TV show. We're live Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on w4wn.com and talk4tv.com. And I want to welcome my guest, Sandy Hart. Welcome, Sandy. I'm so grateful that you're here joining me.
Good morning. It is such an honor to get to spend this time with you and share whatever gold together we can share to help all the listeners. It's exciting. Thank you.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, my tissues for my allergies. We don't want that. Anyway, so let me share with the audience more about you, Sandy.
Sure.
Sandy is on a mission to raise the standard and reputation of the sales industry with her incredible sales training company, Sales Excellence Elite. Sandy has been inspired by her clients during 27 years as an award-winning and very proud realtor, having been in the trenches as well as the Chairman's Club and number 14 on the prestigious RE/MAX of Western Canada's top 100 list. After she earned in excess of $3 million in personal commissions, her first 8 full years as a RE/MAX agent, she set out on fire to prove that real estate agents could have integrity and be successful. It has become Sandy's life mission and passion to smash the shame chain programming around sales, to inspire and empower all sales professionals to embrace being integral and successful, making sales fun and easy while creating a beautiful work-life synergy. Welcome, Sandy.
Thank you so much, Nanci.
And we also have Marie and Allie in the house. So I just want to do a shout out to them. Good morning. And Allie, good morning. Thank you. So, Sandy, what I would love to know is how did you get into what you're doing now? Tell me a little bit about your story and how it unfolded for you.
Well, I grew up with very honorable parents, and my parents went through some bad experiences around real estate. I ran my parents' flower shop and had so much fun. I tripled their business, and just because I love people. So it was really easy for me. And of course, who doesn't love flowers, right? So then I had always dreamed from young about selling houses. My dream and my reality was a little different, but however, I'm sure most people can relate to what we dream as little girls our life will look like. And so at 26, I went next door to the real estate office, the only office in my tiny town in northern British Columbia, and asked the broker there if he thought that I would be a decent real estate agent. And he almost came out of his chair. He's like, "Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, you'd be amazing." So that was great. And it was straight up. I sold my first home in the first 3 weeks. I had saved and scrimped. I was a single mom and, was studying at night and working during the day. And it just so beautiful. That's how I became. Now, my parents were not excited at all about my choice to be a real estate salesperson. And they made it very clear that they were devastated, disappointed, and ashamed of their daughter because sales were dirty. And you cannot have integrity and be a salesperson. You will sell, your soul to the devil. And I recognized very early on that was my programming. I believed that to be true, but it fired me to show up integrally and serve and do an outstanding job for my clients. And that is why I became so successful. And then some other things happened.
Okay. Thank you so much. I mean, that amazing, Sandy. I know you and I know who you are and I know how amazing you are and how you just show up for people and how giving. So I just want to just let people know that Sandy is an amazing woman, human being, as well as an amazing woman who sells to or shares with people. And I just want to give a shout out to Cindy and Wise Healings, Janelle. They're in the house too, welcoming. Yay. And so in the intro that I gave, you actually had given it to me, and I wanted to just get your impression on every human from our very first conscious breath or selling, snooze or feet on the floor. What will it cost me if I make the wrong choice? And what will I gain from selling myself the better choice? So you shared that. And can you tell us a little bit more about what that means to you and what you mean by that?
Absolutely. Sales is just got such a dirty rap. But the reality is that if you've ever had a 2-year-old, you are selling. Like, eat your breakfast. This is and we sell with outcomes. We sell with transformations. We sell with dreams come true. And we don't recognize it. 80 staggering % of businesses fail because, I don't want to sell. And with the thought process that if I build it, they will come. I'm passionate about my product or my service, but I don't want to talk to people. and so that's where the disconnect comes into believing that sales is non-integral. And the reality is selling is the kindest, most sacred thing we can do for people if we care about them. Because if they don't know or don't choose, there's the so many shadows, all the fears. But what if I'm bugging them? What if I offend somebody? What if they reject me? What if they laugh at me? Right? All of those human. So putting ourselves out there is vulnerable and frankly, kind of terrifying. So how do we change our programming to believe that sales are service? Sales, is sacred. It is truly spirit putting us in a position to serve and to share transformational things with the world. And yet we shrink and we hide and we do everything else, and we stay behind our computers and we create this beautiful website and we do all these things. And then it's like, people? No. I've literally been in stores where it's like, hey, what you got? And they're like, oh, like health food store, for an example. Like an incredible, not one in my town. I was actually in a different place. I've been to Diamonds International presentations where they never ask for the sale. They never actually do a call to action. They just, and I'm like, don't you want people to come to your store or come up front and look at your diamonds? Like, is this just, and it's just astounding to me. And in conversations, it's always those subconscious fears, always that being seen, shining our light. It's so there's a process, and it is a process. There's no instant fix to this because these are subconscious, that 95% you talk about, Nanci.
Yes, as you were talking about, subconscious is my all about what I do is clearing those subconscious blocks.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'm blessed to have done some work with you, Nanci, where we're, some of our childhood stuff and some trauma and stuff that is blocking our ability to rise and shine in this world, and just, playing small, staying hidden, and it will 80% of businesses fail because they're terrified of the sales part.
Wow. We would make a great team, Sandy. I think we should do a program together.
Do you think? It is absolutely the truth. It is absolutely. And I've always in my stuff been very enthusiastic in my life. And well, actually that's not true. I was very shy when I was younger.
You were shy? I can't even imagine that.
The girl who went into real estate and the woman sitting with you now are very different, very different. And I actually still have in my community in Sales Excellence Elite Facebook, I have people who knew me when I was 15 that are like,
wow,
what happened to you? And I'm like, when you help enough people connect with their dreams, you start to feel like you're really valuable. And feeling valuable, like you make a difference, is unbelievable in that vibrational, improving how you show up in the world. So it's really fun. So I still get to sell real estate by day, and then I get to teach and share and inspire people to just really take a look at some of the shadows, take a look at some of the human drives that actually will take us to our next level. And when we commit to those, it's simple but not easy, right? It's like 3 words that you study every single day, and just little small tweaks. And then all of a sudden you're just, you got a little more pep in your step, and your smile's bigger, and your handshake's a little stronger, and people start to notice you, instead of that blending into the world of mediocrity that so many of us are stuck in.
When you say 3 words, what do you mean? What 3 words?
So in my masterclass, I spend some time extracting. So I share like 30 words, but 3 of those words will absolutely resonate with you.
Okay.
And so we do little exercises where it's like, write down those 3 words. We'll put them in a sentence, and then that's your sentence. And you're going to read that sentence every single day for the next 30 days. And you're going to commit to those 3 words, which are the human drive words, the things that make us show up.
Love it. I love it. And we have Marie saying, Sandy is fabulous, authentic and genuine to the core. If you ever want someone in your corner who really cares, Sandy is the real deal. Thank you, Marie. Love it.
Thank you, Marie. And Nanci too. And I know exactly who. And so those are imagine the feeling when somebody that you love and respect shows up and says something like that. Mm-hmm. And those are the onboarding and the testimonials and things, because another one of the things that we do is our superpowers. We don't see our own superpowers. We really don't. But to have someone else point them out for us makes so much sense.
Yes. I love it. Love it. Cindy, she inspired and saved me 35 plus years ago, and more recently, just a few months ago. Aww.
Thank you. Aww. I love it. Oh my gosh. I've gotten to serve and just, it's just such an honor. And I mean, I have cried.
So sometimes it's really hard to take in all the love. So breathe it in, girl, because you deserve it. You deserve it. And Marie says, Nanci and Sandy. Oh, the dream team. Love it.
Right. Oh, an infusion of clearing and boosting, right? Take out, remove the shadows and all the things that are keeping us small, and then infuse with that enthusiasm. Is, I think it's Greek for in God. Did you know that?
Is it really? I did not know that. That is interesting.
And inspiration is in spirit.
Yeah, and in breath. And yes.
And so enthusiasm is different than excitement. I was actually listening to Bob Proctor on this, and I have long since enthusiasm is literally scientifically proven to be one of the key components to top sales in any industry. So sales is not by any means just real estate. Sales is the corner store. Sales is like how we show up in our lives, but sales is as a mom. Sales is, as a wife. I mean, what are we selling our husbands? Because, there's this thing called posture that comes with this force to reckon with. and it changes relationships. I have seen so many of the same individuals, the same teenager who shows up differently in one relationship and then treats somebody else completely different because of the posture and the, how we show up in our relationships. And so there's those sales too, when we want to have absolutely mind-blowing friendships and love relationships and relationships with our children, our parents, we just show up differently, and we just have a different sense of confidence in who we are and what gifts we bring to the world. And most of us don't know.
Don't know what?
Don't know the light that we are, our superpowers, and what we're here to give and gift, and how to package and sell And it's not one aspect of our life. It's all connected, right? There's
Yes.
the four
Yes.
pillars,
Yes.
right? So I lost my health in my complete heart of service. I ended up getting chronic fatigue syndrome. I was 70 pounds overweight. And I was a bit of a martyr. Look at me, look at me. I am so busy and I am so valuable in the world. But there was nothing left over for me. Nothing. There was less than nothing. And so when I got sick and my boys were young and I recognized the in-service, the injustice that I was doing by over serving. So there's a balance, right? And that's part of that
Yes.
posture and confidence and making sure that your health is number one, because without it, we all know, right? And all of us think it won't happen to us, and then you have a conversation and it's now 1 in 2 people will face cancer. What?
1 in 2, those are the stats right now? Wow. Yep.
So yeah, cancer comes knocking and everything changes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I loved when you said that we need to sell ourselves a different choice. So can you talk a little bit more about that? Because that's an interesting way to look at it.
yes. And again, so much of this is subconscious, which is
Yes.
Nanci's absolute brilliance. And so honestly, like not even joking, I am a bigger, brighter version of myself because of Nanci, because we believe that self-care is selfish, and we're only here to serve. And that breath work that you do, you can't only breathe out, you have to breathe in. And it's like, and when you start to actually go, oh, so as especially females, I believe that we energetically in the universe, we're here to serve. And as mothers, holy crap, right? Like we are giving from conception through birth, through college, and so we have this programming of give. And if you're going to be successful as a woman, you better be damn good at giving. And so that is massive in all of our challenges.
Yeah.
Is where do we prioritize ourselves, and in our conversations, and in how we allow people to speak to us or treat us. And so there's just so many things that I have gotten to create in the recognition of, wait a minute, having that confidence to sit down and have a conversation with a new client that says, let's have a conversation and see if we're a good fit to work together. Because if we're not, let's don't waste each other's time. And people go, what? And it's like, no, seriously. Let's talk about what matters to you and what matters to me, and how this relationship would look like. Because especially in real estate, right, Cindy? We answer every call. We get up from the dinner table. We stay back from vacation. We do everything to serve our clients. And then they end up buying off a sign down the street, or, end up listing with someone else, because we haven't had the confidence to say to them, let's sit down and make sure that we're a fit. And I will go to the end of the world for you in return for your commitment, and that you will stick with me. And if there's a conflict, we'll talk about it, and you don't just wander off. And when people are called to task, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. It's like, yeah, okay. But when they're not, they're just sort of out there doing, because people inherently, humans, are looking for whatever it is that they want. So we feel like we matter, and we do, but only this much, because at the end of the day, they're only interested in getting themselves to their end goal. And so if somebody shinier shows up that looks like they're selling more, or they're doing more, or they're, getting more money, people will walk away from it.
Gravitate to them, because it looks like they're the shinier object, but they may not always be the best. And
Exactly. So that integrity and that posture, that confidence to say, here's who I am and what I will do for you. However,
yeah,
I expect, and need to commit. It's very powerful.
And I love also that you talked about balance, because that's really important in terms of having a balanced life and selling yourself. I mean, I really think that we need to look at, as humans, as women, to really look at how important it is to take care of ourselves and to sell ourselves, the self-care. That self-care, and how important it is, because so often we overlook it.
Mm-hmm. And that, what will it cost us? What will it cost us if we don't prioritize that? Because, I mean, I don't know what time you get up, Nancy, but I get up at 4:30 in the morning, so that,
oh my God,
in my world, that I'm, I've done my morning routine. And it's so different than, oh, I'm so tired, and hitting snooze. And then you kind of slough out of bed and you just feel like, now I've let myself down because I'm not doing the things that, and I mean, I'm a morning person. That's why my mornings are like, I will go to bed at 8:30 at night to get up at 4:30 in the morning, so that, because I can accomplish by 8 a.m. what most people don't accomplish, by 3 p.m. because I'm like, these are the things, and I make my lists, and I have it all figured out now. I wasn't always like that. I used to let the world run my life. I didn't run my life. And so that's why I ended up sick. And I honestly thought I was going to die. I thought my kids weren't going to have a mom. And I thought I was the worst failure on the planet. And I was a multimillionaire. And ended up in divorce, and just got thrown into this horrific storm of life. And all of us get hit with the storms of life.
Yes.
And it's like, what are we prepared for? Because it's going to happen. And when we give it all away, we are depleted. And I have never felt so low as a human, or so unworthy as a human, as in those moments. And I had achieved everything you just read, the Chairman's Club and the Lifetime Achievement Award. And, people thought I was so successful, and I never felt so much like a failure.
How did you turn it around, Sandy?
Well, and that's what I hope nobody else ever has to get to that low of a place, to be able to recognize that this is not service. This is martyrdom. This is me so busy that I don't ever have to do the inner work that you do. And that is the honest to goodness truth. The amount of, and I grew up in the 70s, right? Where children got the belt and were told, sit down, shut up, you're to be seen and not heard. And, and the things that create our little person believing that, we're not worthy. And so that's been a lifelong experience for me, is that worthiness conversation, imposter syndrome, the things that you clear that we have no idea. We have no idea it's even going on behind the scenes, those little shadows that keep us hidden. So how did I turn it around? You said, I'm sorry, I didn't really answer the question. I just added to it.
Well, here's the thing. It's you did what you did was you talked about what you needed to do, which was the inner work.
Yes.
Because the bottom line is if you don't do the inner work, nothing else happens. Nothing else matters.
Nope. And you can be, you can look so successful and feel like crap. And, think, it's amazing. It's amazing the difference, because, even my doctor has said to me, Sandy, like, you've reversed your age. Like, you've changed so much from back then. And it just came down to, I serve on such a higher level to my clients now than I did then, because I because I put myself in that care first, and clearing those traumas. And trauma is such a heavy word. It's such a big, I don't have trauma. What are you talking about? My parents loved me.
Right.
Yes, of course they did. They did the best they could.
Right.
I did the best I could for my kids, and I'm trying to get all of them to recognize that, guess what, you guys? Like, I sure hope that you do some of this inner work, because all of us have trauma. All of us. I absolutely have never met anybody who doesn't.
And that is correct. And actually, I would like to share that I am actually doing a masterclass. It's from Wednesday, October 19th to Friday, October 21st. It's the 3 keys to the intuition business advantage, strategies to move your business to the next level. And during the masterclass, we're going to share the first key to clearing your money and success blocks, how to make business decisions based on your inner wisdom, and the number one way to gain confidence to up-level your income and your impact. And again, it's a virtual, it's online, 3-day free masterclass. And you, Juan, can you please post the link on the screen? And I would love to have you join and share and understand more about how to create the successful business that you want, and clear the trauma that Sandy was talking about, and the blocks, and what happens, and how to shift that. So when starts Wednesday, October 19th, and I'm actually doing a bonus session on Saturday, October 22nd. So yes, please share the link. And
I'll sure be there.
What?
I said, I'll sure be there. I love it.
Oh, thank you, Sandy. I know. I love you. And
how we can power off each other, and just, connecting with other powerful people that really just show up, and do the work, and serve, and love, and, supporting each other is just such a beautiful, beautiful feeling of being supported.
Yeah.
And how many of us actually feel supported?
I love it. And I just want to say, for those who are listening to the podcast, so that I want to make sure that they have the link. If you go to inspiredandempoweredliving.com, and it's right on the front page, but you can also go inspiredandempoweredliving.com/masterclass. So for those of you on the podcast listening, you can definitely just go to that link, inspiredandempoweredliving.com/masterclass, and sign up and join us. We'll be there. So, and I love it. Yeah. And Allie had something, she talked about so many of her clients cringe from selling.
Yes, it's so true. It's so true. And we don't even recognize it. But that's why business people actually, they don't recognize that it's actually the sales conversation. It is that pivotal moment when you say, does this feel like a fit for you? That's it. And in our minds, it's like, if you're in a restaurant and the waitress, back when we used to hang out in restaurants, had a pot of coffee saying, would you like more coffee? And you say, no, thank you. Or would you like some pie? No, thank you. That's the level of if it's not a fit for you, and when you have a heart to serve, and you can recognize that maybe it's not a fit right now, or maybe it's not a fit, and not take that personally, because that is that terrifying fear of rejection, of
Rejection.
of feeling pushy and bugging people and all those things. So attraction marketing is very different. It's very much inside of a lot of the training that I do. It's the analogy, metaphorically, of the lighthouse shining our light on an island in a storm versus the life raft being beaten to death, saying, "Are you my client? Are you my client? Are you my client? Are you my right? Is this for you?" It's that I know who I am, how I show up, and what I offer for transformation in your life. If it's not for you and you want to stay in the storm, you go right ahead. But I'm just going to be over here if and when you ever need me.
Yes, yes.
And mean it from the center of your soul, because so many people are truly lost in their own grief and their life and their darkness, and they're just not willing or ready, and that's okay. It's that 7 habits of highly effective people, win-win or no deal. Like, if this isn't a win, we're good. So yeah.
Yes. And I love, you are such a light. You are the lighthouse, and you definitely shine that light, as we both do. I know where we are the light, and there are so many of us. Every single person that's in the chat room, if you're listening on the call, I just want you to know you're the light, because we need you. You are showing up and wanting to make a difference. You are the light. So just remember that. And we have Marie said, Sandy, what are your thoughts on our story is our journey, which makes the destination the gift, or the gift is the journey? Can you please explain that, Sandy?
Oh my goodness, our story. That our mess is our message. Our what are we here? So many people stay a little bit confused as to what is my purpose. I don't feel like I have anything to offer. And everybody has something to offer. It's incredible. I had a really beautiful dear friend stay with me for 3 months this summer. And she's never been married. She has no children. And she is one of the most absolutely mind-blowingly incredible people who helped me clear out my mom's clothes from my dad's house. He was finally ready to let that stuff go. She laundered everything once or twice. She went from seniors home to hospital, and donated. And I'm like, I thought I was a good person. I am not as good of a person as you. And we do that compare, and despair. But because she's watched, and she works with elderly people, she's watched and believes that elderly women especially are the least able to afford clothes, and like just they're in a. And so I just think, so of course she looks at me and she's like, "You are outrageous. Like, you're just this boisterous, you walk into the room, blah, blah, blah. And I can't be like you." I'm like, "You shouldn't be like me. You are the most incredible human on the planet." And so that, and so her journey is definitely her gift. And so, yeah, so that's the volunteering side of things that we do. She makes a really good living as a contract nurse now. And that's just one example. And then, I take another very dear friend who has been through so many losses in her life, and still shows up for everyone in the world except maybe herself. And watching is almost like that. But if you could only see, and it's still those shadows and those needs to clear some of those traumas and blocks that we don't recognize. We just don't. The time I've spent with you, Nanci, and not even knowing there's something hiding that's stopping me from, moving forward in an area of my life. And then boom, and it's like, what? And so the power. So because I've done it a couple of times, and even though it's can be painful for sure, it is the most freeing feelings in the universe. So yeah, I hope that helps, Marie, because our journey through our hell, is so much the light that we can shine to, because in our hearts of service, we want to protect others from ever going through some of the things that we've been through, and to make their journey a nicer journey than the pain journey that we've been through. So that is so much your message, women who have been, in abusive relationships and traumatized, and, those of us who have lost loved ones, and there's so much need in the world for us to get out of our own way, clear those blocks, and serve on a truly heart-centered, integral, sacred way, so that people get from where they're at in the darkness into the light of a life that is inspired and empowered, like what Nanci is gifting this universe with.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. And we have Cindy, who said, Yahoo, on my birthday, I will be there. Awesome. Thank you. Cindy, I guess, is reacting to what I was talking about with the masterclass. Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah.
And Marie said, beautifully said.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I hope that helps. I can run off on a tangent sometimes.
Great. Well, what I would like to ask you, Sandy, is could you share your gift for the audience and how they can connect with you?
Absolutely. Thank you. So I have a 30-minute Excellence in Sales call, which is a Zoom, like just virtual like this, where I just get to hear your story and then give it back to you in a different way, with how you can take that story and create something really viably saleable in the world. And it's not one area, it's all areas that come together in this beautiful lotus flower of what you're here to serve and to gift. And it's absolutely free. It's just to completely go through your journey to get some clarity and just some strategy as far as how can you take your mess and go out in the world and be that beacon of light for others, so that they don't have to feel the pain and can get to the transformation, and so that you can create a life that literally lights you on fire, so that you're both breathing out and breathing back in and accepting both the love and the money, because that money story is an insanely, I mean, how many of us, money is bad, rich people are evil, like that, greed and all the things about money. And it's like, no. Money is God. Money is God in action. Money is, what? When you have more money, you're so much more able to share the money around. It's not meant to be hoarded and held, and it's definitely not meant to be avoided. It is meant to be used in our lives in so many ways and abilities.
So, Sandy, you need to share the link.
Oh, so it is a Calendly link. It is right there, calendly.com/sales excellence. And yeah, the calendar's there.
Okay, so everybody, just want to make sure that you get this. For those who are listening and may not see it, it's calendly.com. So that's calendly.com/sales excellence. And that's Sandy's gift to all of you who would like to take her up on that.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you. Yeah, it would be an honor. It would be an honor just to be able to hopefully infuse a little inspiration and enthusiasm into your life. Just in any arena, you know, that being a light for other people and being blessed to be able to have, you know, grown through a lot of darkness and so then able to shine and share. It's just such an honor.
I love it. I just really want to say thank you so much for joining and for being on today and for sharing your light, because you are such a light and you have so many gifts to share with the world. And I'm excited to watch you shine, baby, shine.
Shine, baby, shine. Yes.
Oh, wait, you know that song, Shine That Little Light of Mine? Something like that. I'm not singing. I'm not going to go into singing, but do you know what song I'm talking about?
Yes, I think I do. And inside of my Facebook community, yes, they're used to me singing. And we laugh a lot because I can't sing.
Well, I don't know if I really want to go there right now. But
the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. There
yes,
you
thank you. There you go. That's right. Don't let it sing where he says. I love it. Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much, Sandy, for joining us. Marie says thank you, Nancy and Sandy. Thank you. And join us next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern for more inspired and empowered living. And you can find us on w4wn.com. Or if you'd like to view the show, talk4media.com. And you go into Click Live and you go into the YouTube channel. And I really want to share with you, we're going to be talking about how to transform your trauma. We're going to be starting that next week. So join us. And I really wish you an inspired and empowered day and an inspired and empowered week. Have a great one, everybody. Goodbye for now.
Bye.